Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Disney Hobby Guides. Like, subscribe, turn on bell notifications. It really helps me grow my channel. Okay, let's get right into it. Today we're going to be talking about this whole new hype about the Magic Keys because there's a new program that's finally been released. There's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of bloggers that are talking about it. It's also on Disneyland's main website too, where you can kind of see what these new passes are about. But mainly what this video is designed to do is talk about the terms and services. Now, before we begin, let's do some disclaimers. I am not a lawyer. I am not legally trained. I know nothing, absolutely zero about the law. So anything that you take from this has no real justifiable background. If you need to find or you need to nitpick at this contract, go hire a lawyer. Hire a professional that actually knows the law and can kind of interpret it for you. What I'm doing is just looking at the terms and services, and I can read English. We're just talking about it in terms of what it says from an English standpoint. Like I said, there's no reason to say that this is absolute. Go hire a lawyer if you need to. Okay, so that being said, most of this contract is talking about the reservation system. What is a reservation? How do you make a reservation? When are reservations available? How do you activate the pass? When did your pass expire? Things like that. Just normal everyday business with annual pass. The most interesting thing actually happens in the middle of this terms and services, where it is clearly capitalized and bolded that there is, quote unquote, a binding arbitration agreement and class action waiver. Verbatim, that's what it says in the middle in bold caps. Okay, so I don't know what this is really saying, but for the most part, what it looks like is that if you buy one of these new passes, any one of these new generation passes, you are automatically agreeing to this stipulation. And the stipulation basically says that if you have a problem with this pass, you have to go through mandatory binding arbitration, or you can potentially settle in a small claims court in California. But that's also subject to there being, valid interests, right? Whatever your claims are that kind of say that, this broke the contract, has to be legitimate, has to be valid. And if it is, you may or may potentially be able to still go up on a higher level, but this contract is pretty ironclad. It is pretty clear, even for a layman that has no, legal training like me. Like, I have no legal training. It's pretty clear what they're trying to say. And what it's basically saying is that if you buy this pass and you have a problem, you can take it up with Disney first, and you have 60 days to work with Disney, through their legal department. And if you can't solve anything after 60 days, then you can move it to potentially small claims court, subject to there being legitimate cause and legitimate concern. It does talk about a little bit about reimbursement and costs and stuff like that in there, which basically says like, hey, if they're found at fault, you can ask Disney to kind of pay for some of the fees. But if they find out, or it's ruled as you just did it because you just did it and there's no legal backing behind it, then you're basically up for all the cost of the legal fees. Now, it doesn't really say that you have to pay for Disney legal fees, but it definitely 100% says that you have to pay for yours if that's the case. So there are some stipulations in there, but that's kind of roughly the basics of what this is. You submit your grievance to Disney's Office of Counsel. You have 60 days to work with them, and then afterwards, if you're still not happy with whatever they decide, you can go to small claims court, but I think even before you can even touch the small claims court, you have to go through a mandatory binding arbitration. So I've been using that word a lot. I have no idea what that means, so I just kind of ran a quick Google search, and here's kind of what it says from certain websites that is listed on here. I think this one is the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. I have no idea what that agency is, but it's a .gov agency, and it kind of gives it really, really quick and dirty. By signing a contract with mandatory binding arbitration provisions, you agree to resolve any disputes about the contract before an arbiter who decides the dispute instead of the court. You may also agree to waive other rights, such as your ability to appeal a decision or to join a class action lawsuit. Okay, that's what's written on that site. Again, I don't know if there's any validity in this site whatsoever. It was just a random Google search. Hire a lawyer to consult if you really need to kind of have ironclad details. So there's that. So, I mean, what it kind of sounds like too, they even go through and they tell you what their arbiter is going to be. It's going to be the American Arbitration Association, AAA. That's basically the one that they're hiring as a neutral third party to kind of, you tell them your grievances, and then they kind of decide, hey, the contracts say X, Y, and Z. Either it's a yes or no, pretty much. And if they say no, then it's a finite no, right? Like, it basically, that's it. It's done with right there. With that being said too, it kind of sounds like if you do open a case and you go through all these hoops and you're still not happy, it sounds like you have to do the small claims in California. I don't know if that matters or not. Maybe small claims in different states are different, but here's a look at what a quick Google search about small claims talks about for the state of California. It basically says small claims court allow you to sue a person, business, or government agency that you think owes you money. Generally, you can sue up to $10,000 in small claims court, or up to $5,000 if you're a business. You can ask a lawyer for advice before you go to court, but you can't have one with you in court. Okay, so that's straight off of I guess the California court system website, selfhelp.courts.ca.gov. Go read for it for yourself. I didn't take a look at any of the other states, so I don't really know if the other states have something similar. But for the state of California, if you are mandated to have this case in California, those are what it says on there. So I don't blame them. I mean, honestly speaking, with everything aside, looking at this contract, it's pretty standard for what the contract is. I don't blame them for doing this, because the class action will, if they lose that class action, it's going to be a big hit for them. Not really a big hit because they've been doing so well in the parks, but it will be kind of a big hit. And they're a business at the end of the day. I mean, the way that the company is kind of proceeding with things, they made it very clear that they're after money or protecting their money versus guest interests. So, with that being said, it's like, yeah, it is what it is. I mean, if any corporation would kind of cover their bases after they've been sued for something, even if they haven't lost the suit itself, if they're on there, it means that there is a security issue with whatever they rolled out. They need to fix it to protect their interests, and that's exactly what they did. I do feel like it was kind of a little bit of a shady practice in that, they kept hush-hush about this. A lot of Dream Key people were like, oh my god, my Dream Keys are expiring. But I don't know anything about this whole class action case, but maybe they did it because that person that started this whole class action, maybe they were one of the original holders, and they wanted to make sure that their pass expired. So then they are obligated to, purchase an Inspire key, which, kind of waives their right from here on out. Pretty much. I mean, I don't know. Those aren't facts. This is speculation, right? And there could be many reasons why they were hush-hush about this. Maybe they didn't even iron out these fine details until recently. But rumor says that the passes are going to come out in a couple of days, and priority goes to existing owners. So I don't even know if that's even open to the public at that point. So if you want an Inspire key, I mean, I don't even know if that's open to the public at that point. But I do feel at some point, maybe not the first few days, they will turn off the gates for the Inspire key like they did with the Dream, because eventually everyone's going to want to buy one. and they have a finite amount of space. So we got to be careful with how this is going forward. With this arbitration kind of agreement in there and you're waiving your right, I mean, if you had the time to do that, hey, power to you. Me personally, I have a family to worry about. I ain't got time for that. If Disney is gonna Disney, if I'm not happy with it, I'll probably still be a Disney fan. I'll probably still buy their stuff. So no, I don't really have time to like go through all those hoops and hurdles just to, get back, $1,500-$1,600. That is a lot of money, but like, I think my time's a little bit worth it elsewhere. So just be very cautious on how you play this. The terms are right there. Go read it for yourself. Go Google your own terms. Go hire a lawyer if you really want to nitpick at this. But aside from that, I have no idea what they're gonna do with existing people. Existing people that have the dream key. If they renew into the Inspire key, does that mean that they waive their dream key rights to kind of be in the class action? No idea. I have no idea. Go talk to a lawyer if you need clarification. Okay. So that's it for this video. Hope that was somewhat helpful on shedding some light on things. Like, subscribe. Take care. Bye.